Good evening, everybody. I'm Lou Dobbs. Donald Trump not hesitating to take on the task of educating a generation of voters who know little about Monica Lewinsky and her blue dress, even less about the years of scandal and controversy that the Clintons and national liberal media have tried their best to bury. There seems to be no event, no element of the Clinton history Trump will ignore. And it appears his strategy is producing the desired results. Yesterday, he highlighted the rape and sexual assault allegations that over the years have been leveled against President Clinton. And in an interview with the Washington Post, the Clintons' worst anxieties fulfilled when Trump described the 1993 death of former Hillary Clinton associate Vince Foster as, quote, very fishy. Trump last night told my colleague and friend Bill O'Reilly such attacks are fair, appropriate, and proportional because the Clintons themselves have launched ruthless attacks against him.
I'm only responding to what they do. They've been nasty. She's been very nasty. And I said, I'd like it to be on policy, Bill. I'd like it to be a straight right down the middle. You know, they're dirty players. They've been dirty players historically. And I have to fight back the way I have to fight back.
We'll take all of that up with former Reagan White House political director Ed Rollins, Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist for the New York Post, Michael Goodwin, and a lot to talk about tonight. Senator Bernie Sanders won't stop his fight for the Democratic nomination, the senator from Vermont, telling the Associated Press the Democratic convention this summer is likely to get, quote, messy. And growing calls tonight to fire Veterans Affairs Secretary Robert McDonald after he compared the length of time veterans are forced to wait to receive care to the length of time people wait for rides at Disneyland.
What really counts is how does the veteran feel about their encounter with the VA. When you go to Disney, do they measure the number of hours you wait in line or the number, what's important? What's important is what's your satisfaction with the experience.
Washington, where even well-meaning people go to get stupid, it seems. I'll have a few thoughts about that later in the broadcast. Our top story tonight, Donald Trump returning to the campaign trail. The presumptive Republican nominee has a rally at 7 p.m. local time in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where we're just guessing here. He is likely to continue his attacks on Bill and Hillary Clinton. It's also primary day for Republicans in the state of Washington, 44 delegates at stake. Still, there's political skullduggery underway, apparently, and in even such a beautiful place as Washington state. But Trump tonight is in New Mexico, and so is Fox News chief political correspondent Carl Cameron in Albuquerque with our report.
Thanks, Lou. Donald Trump is officially kicking off his first fundraising trip with stops here in New Mexico, California, North Dakota, and Montana this week. He's been off the trail for nearly 2 weeks and defensive when it comes to some press reports that money he intended to raise for veterans while skipping a debate this year was never fully delivered.
I raised almost $6 million for the veterans, including putting up $1 million of my own money. I had no obligation to do anything or to do so, and I get nothing but bad press from the dishonest media. It is absolutely disgraceful. Why don't they look into the Clinton Foundation? You want to see dishonesty.
Trump's been busy expanding campaign operations and counterattacking Hillary Clinton's attempts to brand him as a sexist and a misogynist. Trump's firing back, recalling the scandals that dogged Bill Clinton, including rape allegations by Juanita Broaddrick and the death of Clinton confidant Vince Foster, who committed suicide, something Trump at the time called fishy. Ed Rollins, who's heading up a pro-Trump super PAC, disagrees with looking backwards.
I would not have used it. Obviously it's grabbed a lot of attention. This is a race against her, not against her husband. And I think to a certain extent, he's got to show his policy chops. He basically has got a lot of things to run against her on. Clinton Foundation, the whole 9 yards. I would basically not even pay a bit of attention to Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton's the past, she's the future. And obviously Trump has to be the future.
But Hillary Clinton's doing much the same thing, blasting Trump for having looked forward to a housing market collapse in 2006 because he could have profited from it.
I sort of hope that happens because then people like me would go in and buy. If there is a bubble burst, as they call it, you can make a lot of money.
Poll after poll shows a dead heat between two unpopular and distrusted candidates.
I think I am popular with people. I really do. And I think a lot of people that maybe say I'm not, they're going to still vote for me. I'm winning in the tracking polls, and I'm winning in most of the polls against Hillary.
New Mexico's a border state. Nearly half the population is Hispanic, so Trump's immigration views are controversial and unpopular. New Mexico Republican Governor Susana Martinez is the first Latina governor in the U.S., and she's skipping Trump's rally. She's also chair of the Republican Governors Association and has so far been critical of Trump's rhetoric and withheld her support. Trump's rally in New Mexico tonight comes at the same time that Bill Clinton is campaigning in this state, making it more likely that the battle between the Clinton and Trump campaigns escalates just in the next 24 hours. Lou?
Carl, thank you very much. Carl Cameron.